remarkable structure was discovered near the Temple Mount during an excavation by the Israel Antiquities Authority at the Jerusalem Walls National Park. The City of David, one of history's greatest treasures, is named after King David, the second king of Judah, who united all of Israel and established Jerusalem as its capital during his reign around 1010 to 970 BC. This vital archaeological site represents one of the few surviving remnants of the Kingdom of Judah and the first temple period ever discovered in Jerusalem. The discovery is profoundly significant. It confirms that ancient biblical Jerusalem extended northward beyond the city of David toward the sacred temple, reshaping our understanding of the city's original scope. In this powerful and enlightening presentation, you'll join Benny Hinn as he explores the palace area of the kings of Judah and visits locations mentioned in the ancient books of Jeremiah and Nehemiah. You'll walk in the pages of the Bible as you accompany him on the actual streets Jesus traveled, and see the Pool of Siloam excavation site, where, as recorded in John's Gospel, our Lord healed a blind man. As you journey along the original path used by Jewish pilgrims, from ritual cleansing at the Pool of Siloam, constructed during King Hezekiah's reign in the Second Temple period, to worship at the Temple Mount, you'll vividly imagine the great pilgrimages that took place here thousands of years ago. More than anything, the discoveries at the City of David powerfully affirm that the Bible is not merely a spiritual guide, but a historical record of actual events, verified by modern science, and can be trusted as the inspired Word of God to direct your life.
We are at the City of David. I've been in Israel. We're going to show you some amazing evidence of the reliability of the Bible. Wow, wow, and wow. I want to shout.
In yesterday's program, Benny Hinn and his team explored the ruins of King David's palace. This remarkable discovery offers compelling evidence of the royal residence, a substantial structure covering an estimated 10,000 square feet. They also examine a massive water cistern, which became the prison of the prophet Jeremiah after he delivered unpopular warnings to the nation of Israel. In addition, they visited an excavation site within view of the Temple Mount, where multiple layers of civilization spanning thousands of years have been uncovered. As the program concluded, the group went through the royal quarter, once home to Jerusalem's wealthy nobility, on their way to even more extraordinary locations. Now, the adventure continues.
So we came down from the palace area on this side, or this shoulder of the mountain. This is where the parking lot is, so that's the other shoulder of the mountain. We're about to cross over down here, and this is the street that goes all the way down to the pool. The story of the Pool of Siloam, there's no natural source of water here, but there's this spring, and that goes back to King Hezekiah. King Hezekiah, when he prepares for the Assyrian campaign, digs the water tunnel. He has workers from two ends dig through the mountain and carry the spring from this slope of the mountain into an inner part of the city at the time, so that the Assyrians don't come and find running water.
Yeah, of course.
And that becomes the pool of the city. Where was that pool all the years? That was a big question, which is being discovered in recent years. We didn't know exactly the location of the pool. This water tunnel was excavated in 1891, and it brought the people to a pool which was in a church, a Byzantine church, from the 5th century. So everybody used to think that church is the Pool of Siloam. But only the excavations that started here in 2004-05 show that this was the place. So we're going down here. We'll cross and walk down the street under the structures. So once we cross over, we'll go underground on the street itself.
Okay, let's go.
Okay?
There is no place like Jerusalem. There is no place like Israel. There's no place to come to really feel, really get into the Bible.
The story of how they discovered this place goes back almost 20 years when a sewage pipe burst at the bottom of the hill. And they sent, the municipality sent its workers. Now you can't just go and start digging somewhere without an archaeologist.
Sure.
So they start digging at the bottom of the hill, and they actually discover around the sewage pipe these steps. We're going to be there. These steps, you can see it's blocked over here, but they find eventually the one side, one phase of a pool. And it resembles the same steps and pattern that we know from the southern gates of the Temple Mount. So between the pool that they find here and the Hulda gates, they imagine a street. So they drew a straight line, and they start digging where we came down, and they didn't find it. They didn't find it, so you don't always find what you're looking for. But then what they started doing is going from the pool, they started digging up some steps and found the sewage or the drainage channel and started digging. So you can today walk the whole way through the drainage channel underneath, and it pops out by the southwestern corner of the Temple Mount. At a certain point, they popped up to the street above them, and they discovered that above them the street exists. It's just covered. And this is it.
I want to read, before we even go down, I want to read Nehemiah chapter 3 and verse 15. They were repairing the wall. It says, but the gate of the fountain repaired Shallun, the son of Kol-Hoseh, the ruler of part of Mizpah. He built it and covered it and set up the doors thereof, the locks thereof, and the bars thereof. And the wall of the pool of Siloam by the king's garden and unto the stairs that go down from the city of David. This is incredible. We were just in the city of David. It says the steps that go down from the city of David. This is Nehemiah 3, verse 15. You know what is so remarkable is we're walking the Bible and we're doing exactly what the Bible tells us exists, because they were repairing the wall. And Shallun was working on a gate called the Fountain Gate. Around the city, by the way, I counted through the Bible 9 gates that were actually repaired during Nehemiah's day. And one of them was called the Fountain Gate. And there it mentions how the wall he was working on was of the pool, and the wall of the pool of Siloam by the king's garden. It would be very exciting when they find that garden, by the way.
It would be.
So there is a garden somewhere. It's mentioned here. And onto the stairs that go down from the city. So let's go down the stairs.
So we're walking down the steps. Just watch your head. This is an active site, so
wow. Active
watch out.
site, yes, exactly.
So we're actually walking here on the original stones of the street. This is a drainage channel that's underneath.
Oh my goodness.
That's where they came up and started to dig up this street. So there you can walk the whole way. And then they started to discover the street and the stones that are 2,000 years old. This is it.
They came through here, and that's when they began digging and found this street here, right in there. They came up this. Can you believe that?
And then they started to support, and you can dig the street underneath the existing city. So when people come here today, they can actually walk on the streets of Jerusalem, of ancient Jerusalem. So that's what we're doing.
Think about the Lord walked these steps.
Mm-hmm. Every Jew who came to the temple 2,000 years ago had to walk up from the Pool of Siloam, stores, shops on both sides. This is the Wall Street of Jerusalem because it led to the walls of the temple. People would come here and buy, change, do whatever they needed. It resembles or reminds me of the story when Jesus comes to Jerusalem, he turns over the tables of the money changers. Why? Because they're trading in the wrong place. The street, the market street, is the place to change, not on the temple. When that happens, it causes corruption.
That answers the question then. Wow. That's why he turned the tables, because they were selling in the wrong spot.
This is a real manhole from that time. And this was very interesting. When they find these steps, at the beginning they thought maybe this is leading to a shop, but they realize it protrudes into the street. And what they realize now, this is kind of a speaker's corner. When you walk up the hill, In the Jewish sources, in the Mishnah, there's a place called Even HaToen. When someone lost something in Jerusalem, he was able to come and claim it. People would come and say, we found something. If you lost a child, if you lost a donkey, I don't know, bring it over here. It could also be a place where people stand and preach. This is the main street. This is the 5th Avenue of Jerusalem at the time. People are walking from the main pool of Siloam at the bottom to the temple at the top on this street. This is the place to speak to the people of Jerusalem if you want to pass by, if you want them to hear you when they pass by.
You know, it's really interesting to me that they would call the town Siloam, and nobody seems to know it's connected to the Pool of Siloam. Wow.
Also, what's interesting, these stones are new. They're not so smooth like in other places, which means they didn't have much use. The evidence we have today is that this street was paved around the year 30, the days of Pontius Pilate.
Wow.
This is the understanding today. Relatively new stones that weren't so much used because Jerusalem was destroyed already in the year 70. But we know the people who walked here, we know their names, we know what they argued over, we know what they discussed. This is the Jerusalem of the 1st century. In the Jewish traditions, we have rabbis called Hillel and Shammai, Rabban Yochanan ben Zakkai. They live in Jerusalem during the time of the temple. If Jesus walks here amongst the Jews, this is where he would probably pass by on the way to the temple from the pool of Siloam. Along the way, we can see shops. What were they selling? These are all the shops. Now they started excavating them in recent year or so. You can see this is part of a mill. Everything here is part of the evidence and life in Jerusalem in the 1st century. And in just a moment, you'll see how it all comes to an end.
I want to bring you, sweet people of God, God willing, we're going to come with a big tour soon, because you're going to experience really the Lord in a new way. And it's really life-changing. I mean, I'm being changed now just walking. I was here years ago when they just discovered the steps down below there. I was with the people who were digging, in fact. And now here we are, you know, so far up. It's amazing. And he just said something maybe you missed, that these stones were actually new, which means they were laid during the Lord's time here, or probably just before he came, because they're newer stones. So 2nd Temple period rather than 1st Temple period.
Mm-hmm. Also, this street was wide, and the steps aren't so close. It allows people to walk here with the elevation. I mean, it's a steep hill, but they're still going up from the bottom of the mountain to the top with keeping their breath, maybe meeting people here on the streets, speaking to each other, singing the Song of Ascents, praising. This is Jerusalem. This is the main event in the life of Jews who came to Jerusalem. They're on their way to the temple with their sacrifice. And I want to turn in here, so this we need to do also carefully, but it's really, I think, worth it. The remains of the destruction. All of this that we're walking through looked like this just a few months ago. They're supporting, you can see here, they support, hold, and then they go. This is layers of destruction. If we look close, you can actually see. I want to look close
here. Come on, let's go. Oh, yeah. Look at that.
If you clean this a bit, you can see pottery shards. So this is not just dirt. This is accumulation on a street that we know its date. The date is the 1st century. And we see here sometimes layers of actual ashes.
Ashes, yeah, I see them.
So destruction.
You can actually see it.
So you see the destruction of Jerusalem in the year 70 with the dirt and pottery and everything that people left behind them when they run away from the city, because they're not waiting for the destruction. So we see the physical destruction of Jerusalem in the year 70, and really correlates with the sources that we know from the time, different descriptions.
So this is when the Romans destroyed the city.
Yes.
And you see the evidence of the fire in this area right here.
Yeah. You can see they highlighted over here a coin that was found here. This is one coin, but there were thousands of coins that were actually found. This is what they call the Jewish coin. It's from the year 67. I always say coins are the Twitter of the ancient world. It's how you convey a message. It reaches everywhere. Everybody holds a coin. They see who's the king. What the Jewish coins have on them.
Everything.
Arbat Aminim, the 4 species. They have the wine amphora. And we're now about 7 minutes from the pool. maybe even less.
Wow. Okay. Well, let's go and see more. I'm so excited. I was here years ago, sweet people of God, when they were digging this part. And I'm truly amazed today that we came down all the way from the city of David, just like the Bible said. What a moment for my life anyways. What a marked moment for my life. I'll never forget this. I'm so grateful to the Lord, really am. Lord, I thank you. I really bless your name today. You are the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of Israel. I give you praise, Lord, for this beautiful moment, for this beautiful divine opportunity for us to be here and to walk the streets of the blessed city of David. To you be praise. Wow. You know, there's really something about it. There's something about coming here that's hard to describe. Like sometimes people ask me to describe what it's like. It's not a feeling. The word feeling is a weak word, a very weak word. It's it's the substance of it, you know? It's like looking at a pool or swimming in it. Now you're swimming in it. You're wet. So you can go somewhere and look at a pool or look at a nice ocean. It's, oh, nice ocean, put your feet in it, fine. No. This is like you immerse in the Bible. You immerse in the reality of the Bible. This is why you need to come. I mean, a lot of people say, well, I've been to the ocean. Yeah, but did you swim? You just sat on the beach, or you probably walked and got your feet wet, whatever. That's the difference. Thank you, Asaf, for doing that for us.
Thank you for coming.
Now we're going to go and look at the Pool of Siloam. That's really something else. So let's go. Come on.
You recognize the pattern of the steps. If you've been to the southern wall, the Hulda gates, same pattern. That's how they knew that this connects to the top. So we just arrived, we walked all the way down, and we just arrived at the bottom of the street, which is the Pool of Siloam. Now, when they discovered this pool back in 2004, 2005, they find only one phase of it. But this changes our whole understanding. The pool of the Byzantine church was much later. Now they're able to find the stones connecting to the street from the 1st century, from the days of Jerusalem, of the temple, where the people walked up. And while we've seen many, what we call in Hebrew mikvahs, the purification bath, they're all over. But this is the biggest one.
So the man in John chapter 9, Jesus told him to come down, which he came down the steps, and he came here.
And he comes to the pool. First of all, it's a miracle, which is done in front of everyone. If you think of this pool as the biggest gathering, this is where everybody comes to meet. We're standing on the steps of the pool. This is a place where people were able to go and immerse their body. So this is really the big gathering of the city. And it also connects to a previous story when King David captures the city of Jerusalem. He captures the physical city of Jerusalem through the water source, probably. And it says there that the hated people were put to protect the city. The people that David hated the most are the lame and the blind. This is fascinating how the lineage continues. And Jesus cures the blind. Physical Jerusalem, David curses the blind. Jesus cures the blind at the pool of the city in front of everyone. So this is how to see the light.
By the way, when Joab went up the gutter area to take the city from the Jebusites, it's all mentioned in the Bible, and they found the very gutter. That's incredible. Oh,
now,
my
until about 3 years ago, the pool ended over here at this wall. This was all a wall, and the property belonged to, I think, the church, the Greek Orthodox Church. Because they had an opportunity to dig, they are now trying to find the rest of the pool, because this drawing shows us a much bigger pool, but we only estimated based on this part of the pool that was found.
I want to go down. When I came the last time here, it stopped right here. Wow. Now they've gone all the way, and I don't remember any of this. So they found, what are we looking at?
So while we discovered this pool almost 20 years ago, but only one phase of it, we didn't know really what's happening. We believe it continues below, but now they're discovering new things, and you see the excavations are going on. The valley was down below to stop all the water flowing down. And probably under the first temple pool, the first century, second temple period pool, exists the first temple pool from the days of King Hezekiah. And hopefully the excavations that will continue will discover more about what's going on here. But you can see the work is in progress.
I've just had one of the most amazing experiences of my life. And I mean that. I'm not just saying these words. You know, you could say, like, I've had the most amazing experience in Israel. I've had the most amazing experience in some place. But I'm saying in my life, guys, precious people of God, I'm saying in my life, because I didn't think I would sense what I sensed. And it's really a very weak word. It's not even the right word. Like, how do you explain when God meets you somewhere, you know? And it's like the reality of the Bible came at me, wham! Even though I have known the reality of the Bible, even though I've experienced the Holy Land, I've been to the Valley of Elah, I've been to Temple Mount, I've been to the Upper Room, I've been everywhere. This is different. And I've been here before. I've not seen the whole city of David. I've not been to the palace where David lived and the kings of Judah. But coming here, it's like God met me at every turn, you know? Like every time we turn, like this. Wham, 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 wham. I think the only experience I can use, you know, have you ever stood under a fall? Waterfall? You can take a shower, no, like where the water is so heavy it almost knocks you out. That's what it's like here. It's like wham, the water coming down with force on you. And it does something like in the natural, if ever you stood under a fall, it relaxes your muscles and you stand there and you know you feel so good afterwards. Spiritually, it's even stronger. Even stronger. You've got to come here. I don't know how else to say it. You've got to come here and don't be afraid. It's safe. It's very safe. I wouldn't be saying it if it isn't, okay? So some of you have been wondering, should I go to Israel, not go to Israel, whatever. If there was no Bible sites, let's say there was no Bible sites in Israel, except this, it's worth it. I mean, think about how many Bible sites there are in this country. It's the hundreds, really. If this was the only Bible site, it's worth coming here. Wouldn't you say that? Okay, come on, Marie, and come on, Lucas, and come on, Jackson, and Rami, come with us. Am I right, guys?
Yes, absolutely.
Why?
Absolutely, it's a life-changing experience. They have to see it to believe it, and then it strengthens your faith. And right now,
It
with
does.
everything happening in the world, your faith has to be strengthened.
Lucas, like, did I describe it right, like a waterfall?
You did. It's
Come on
almost,
closer so they can hear you.
It's almost like being baptized into a new reality. Like Pastor was saying, as that water's falling on you, there's a weighty reality of Scripture that's hitting you.
From every
Turn after
corner,
turn,
because
yes.
like you turn around and there's Jeremiah, you turn around and there's something else, and there's David, and there's the kings of Israel, and there's the kings of Judah. You're like spinning in your head. All the connections coming together in your head, and so much more that isn't a part of this. In other words, it brings other things in. You read in the Bible. Like, you know, when you read, for example, the three names in Jeremiah 38, it connects you to King Zedekiah, connects you to, you know, all the others and how they did, and then the Babylonians came in, and it all comes to life, all with a little coin you're talking about. And then you're standing in the dungeon. That was something.
Being there in the pit that Jeremiah was thrown into, and then him being pulled out, you know, it's like you're in this pit, and all that I can think about is the Lord being crucified and then going down into the earth.
You know what
and rising
sustained
again.
Jeremiah? What sustained him? He said, I found the word of the Lord and I ate it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it was the joy of my heart, he said. He was the most persecuted prophet probably of his day. Am I right, Asaf?
Yes.
So he said earlier something maybe you missed. He said Isaiah, from that location, spoke about salvation. He prophesied about the coming salvation. It was Jeremiah who talked about, listen, if you want to live, you better go out from the city, you know, and on, because the Babylonians were around the city. But you're in that dungeon and you're thinking, that man survived this? And the mud was probably up to his waist?
Or to his chin.
Or maybe only God knows how deep the mud was in there. And he survived by what? The word of the Lord. So he's talking, I'm thinking, my heart is like a machine going, you know, with all kinds of like coming out. And I'm thinking, this is the man who said, I ate the word. I found the word and it was my joy. So think about a man being in this dungeon and happy about it.
And preaching to people who didn't want to hear him.
Yeah, and didn't give up.
Yeah. Hated.
Huh?
Hated, despised.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the city of David does a lot for you. I think as a Christian, you come here, you not only experience the Bible, you become strengthened. You leave saying, they survived, I'm gonna survive.
Amen.
Jeremiah, if Jeremiah survived this, and he came through this hole, and he went up through this, and he was in this muddy place, it's cold even now, imagine what it was like then. And he was persecuted, starved, by the way, they starved him.
Right.
He survived. And you think about all the prophecies fulfilled suddenly. So, because you're here. I mean, how did the Jewish people survive, for goodness sake? Well, your family went through the Holocaust.
Right, my mom.
Well, you're still here. I've known Rami for a long time. I was sitting having lunch at a restaurant in Beverly Hills. At that time, he worked for the Ministry of Tourism, and he was one of the leading men in Los Angeles. You were like the, what do you tell him, huh?
Consul for Tourism for the West Coast.
Yeah. So he saw me, he came in, and he said, Benin, I wanna meet you. I was eating pizza, I guess, or something.
Yeah.
And since then, we've been friends. How many years ago was that?
It was 25 years. 25 years, 2000.
And it's been amazing because through him and others like him, I've met a lot of people in Israel. I've met a lot of people through him. And it's amazing that you talk to a lot of them who will tell you their history. And you're totally amazed by how did they make it? You know, like, they're still here. Because God is in it, that's why.
A lot of us made it because Benny Hinn was here during the toughest times. He's been a friend of the State of Israel. Prime Minister Netanyahu met you many times. And the nation is thanking you for what you're doing, being here during the toughest times and the greatest times, and bringing 65,000 tourists to Israel, right, till now?
Altogether.
Yeah. So,
Well, I want to bring more. I want to invite you again to come to Israel and come with us. But even if you come by yourself, just come. You know, get on a plane and just show up. And they would love to see you. I'm telling you, they would love to see you because they need you now. Both Israelis and Arabs need you here in the land. All right. God bless you. Shalom.